भारत में साल 20 लाख लोग हार्ट अटैक की वजह से मरते हैं। 4 में से 1 मौत आज भी हार्ट अटैक की वजह से हो रही है, जिसका मेन कारण सही समय पे सही जगह पे आपका मेडिकल डिवाइस
Premium GPS version starting at the price of 41,000.
The CDC, millions of adults aged 65 and older fall each year. Did you know that just one fall doubles your chances of falling again? As the costs of elder care and senior housing continue to rise, and as seniors continue to live longer and lead more active lifestyles, detecting and treating fall injuries early is more important than ever.
Hello professor, this is a virtual presentation of our fall detection device. The parts involved are listed on your screen.
For this project, we will be using the microcontroller unit called Nodemcu. This IoT platform runs on ESP8266 Wi-Fi SoC and connects to the Wi-Fi. This receives digital information from the accelerometer and on detection of fall will communicate with the person's phone using Wi-Fi.
The MPO6050 is a sensor based on MEMS, that is, Micro Electromechanical System Technology. Both the accelerometer and the gyroscope is embedded inside a single chip. That is, this chip is capable to find the acceleration and as well as the torque that is embedded on the chip. This chip uses I2C, that is integrated circuits protocol for communication. An accelerometer works on the principle of piezoelectric effect.
This is the heart rate pulse sensor. We have added it to measure the heart rate. It is an analog heart rate pulse sensor. It can be used to measure the heart BPM. Heart BPM means beats per minute, which in normal language we can say as normal heart rate. And a normal human being should have 78 BPM. This thing kind of measures on the basis of how much volume of blood has changed in the blood vessel, and it is a photoelectric device, and it emits photoelectric waves, and by the reflection of these waves it measures the amount of the timing, the rate at which the blood flow has changed, and according to that it measures the pulse and the BPM of the person.
Hello guys, let's learn about the parts which we've used in the hardware of our device. Starting with this white breadboard, it acts as the base of this prototype which we made. Also, each horizontal line of this breadboard has 5 connections. Each connection is at the same voltage. This fact helps us to connect each part with the other very easily using these jumper wires. These colorful wires are jumper wires. These are male-to-male jumper wires. Male-to-male jumper wires means it has pin heads on both sides, as I can show you. So these are male-to-male jumper wires, the other side. So these connect one circuital part of the device to the other, which makes the circuit complete. And because they are pin wires and because of the breadboard, we can just simply connect without soldering each part to the other, and hence it makes the circuit very easy. This part is called the Nodemcu Esp8266. It is the most important part of the whole circuit. It is the mother part. It is an IoT device. It is connected to the Wi-Fi, because of which we can get SMS in our mobiles. Also, we can connect this part to the laptop using this micro USB cord, and the Nodemcu already has a micro USB insertion inside it. So as we connect it with the laptop, we can code this part, and because it is a codable part, it can be used and it can be run according to whatever we code and whatever we wish, and hence it will instruct the sensor accordingly, and hence we can make this device smartly. This part is the MPU6050 accelerometer and gyroscope. It is a 9-axis sensor, 3 axis for the acceleration, 3 axis for the torque, and 3 axis for orientation change. So as soon as there is a torque or an acceleration or an orientation change, it will sense and it will immediately give the message to the Nodemcu, and hence via the Nodemcu we can easily get the SMS into our mobiles. And because we can code it, so we have set a threshold value, and after the threshold value, if this part senses if the acceleration or the torque or the orientation is above the threshold value, then only because of the code instructions it will send the message to the Nodemcu and it will give an SMS in our mobiles. So this is the whole hardware and how the hardware works. Thank you for listening.
Now let us look at the code part of our project. First, we include wire.h and ESP8266 modules. Then we declare all the variables that we will be requiring in the code. Now this part of the code is very important and it helps Nodemcu connect to the Wi-Fi. Only using this Wi-Fi does Nodemcu communicate with our phones. This part of the code helps make sense out of the data that the motion sensor provides to the Nodemcu. These values are for calibration and are same for all MPU6050 chips, and we got this from the internet. Now let us look at how we calculate fall. First, we define a variable called amp which stores the value of amplitude of the acceleration. And we say if the amplitude exceeds a certain threshold, we declare high acceleration to be true. And if high acceleration is noted, it then checks the angle. And if it also detects high angle change, we set high angle is true. And if high angle is set true, it means the person has fallen down. But now it might also be for some other reasons that it measured a high acceleration. So we delay for 2 seconds and then check the angle change again. If the angle change is now very less, then we infer that the person has fallen down and is not able to move. So we declare fall is true. And if fall is true, we send event fall underscore detected to the internet. Now this is the part of code that gets readings from the motion sensor. And this is the part of code that helps communicate with the IFTTT app, that is the webhooks platform that we are using to transmit the data. Now let us try compiling the code. The code is successfully compiled without any errors. Now the Nodemcu is connected to Wi-Fi. Let us carry out the tests.
So this is a hardware device. As you can see, a gyroscope is connected and a Nodemcu is connected via the USB to the laptop. Now as soon as we drop it, we'll see the results in the laptop and also we'll receive an SMS. So now I'm taking it to the height and now looking it.
As we can see, the code has detected the fall.
And now as we can see, we've also received an SMS in the IFTTT part. We received an SMS from IFTTT app that there is an accident and it's an emergency and please provide help immediately.